Another mystery buried deep in the hills of eastern Washington keeps resurfacing. A bottomless pit said to be a pathway to the paranormal.
An underground base, a very small underground base.
The one guy claims that he threw his departed canine down into the hole. He swears the dog actually came back to him.
If you take some more time, you might even start understanding what some of the locals call this place Gate to Hell.
Watching from the ground limits our view, but soaring drones capture the unseen. From implausible to unbelievable and perplexing clicks from around the world, get ready to widen your eyes with these jaw-dropping drone footage. Siberian Sinkhole.
Giant craters were spotted in the north of Russia. They popped up out of nowhere in the Yamal Peninsula.
A Russian crew flying over the Siberian tundra spotted a massive crater estimated to be 150 feet deep. It stood out for its size, symmetry, and the powerful forces of nature at play. Scientists are uncertain about the exact formation process of this crater, but they suspect it may be linked to a significant buildup of methane gas, possibly caused by rising temperatures in the region. Nevertheless, there are still many unanswered questions that researchers are grappling with. Door to Hell. While filming fascinating footage in China, the drone captured an astonishing sight: the Door to Hell in Turkmenistan. Situated in the heart of the Karakum Desert, this fiery phenomenon spans 200 feet wide and reaches depths of 66 feet. Essentially, it's a natural gas crater that has been burning continuously since its ignition, the exact cause of which remains unknown. One prevailing theory suggests Soviet geologists intentionally set it ablaze in 1971 to prevent the spread of methane gas. Despite its adverse effects on the environment and nearby residents' health, the site has paradoxically become a popular tourist attraction. Cave monster. Hovering his drone above the undiscovered caverns of the world, a man lowered his device into the curious cave entrance. What he saw on the screen exceeded all expectations. A peculiar creature, bipedal with goat-like horns and limbs, peeking at the drone from behind the cave wall. The darkness concealed much of its features, adding to its mystique. Abruptly, the clip ended, leaving the creature shrouded in even more mystery. Backyard Basin. Hovering above a residence in Queensland, Australia, a drone's lens captures an unsettling scene below. Behind the retired couple's home, a gaping circular pit stretching 26 feet wide formed overnight. Filled with murky brown water, the sinkhole ominously swallowed large chunks of soil and was expanding with each passing hour. A team of researchers summoned to investigate speculates on the cause. Perhaps an ancient shaft lies buried beneath, or the ghost of a coal mine haunts the property's depths. Despite the looming threat, reassuring words were offered, and the house was declared safe from the clutches of the massive sinkhole. The Lost World. Chinese researchers stumbled upon what seems like a scene from a fantasy novel when they ventured into a 630-foot deep sinkhole in Yunnan province. This isolated and extraordinary formation boasts multiple cave entrances and hosts an ancient living forest untouched by the outside world. Towering trees reaching up to 131 feet spread their branches to soak in sunlight, providing sanctuary for various plants and animals. During their expedition, researchers collected rare seeds and plant species, some unseen for over a century. This effort could help save endangered animals and study more big holes in the area. Doorway to Underworld. It's widely known that ice is melting, creating unexpected holes and revealing astonishing discoveries, including what's been dubbed the doorway to the underworld. What sets this crater apart is its remarkable characteristic: it's alive! Rapid growth exposes buried forest and frozen animal remains. This crater, the largest of its kind and likely the second oldest, is thawing at an alarming pace. The collapsing land and warming ground intrigued scientists, offering insights into climate change. Researchers are fascinated by this massive slump, measuring 282 meters deep and 0.6 miles long, and are excited to uncover its mysteries. Cliff Coffins. Have you ever seen coffins hanging off a cliff? Because I've got some drone footage from China that'll blow your mind. According to legend, the Irigat people believed that a person should depart the same way they entered the world. So, back in the day, the Chinese used to hang coffins, thinking that the higher they were placed, the better chance the spirits had of reaching a higher nature in the afterlife. Today, there are about 131 coffins, some measuring up to 3.2 feet in length, hanging on this cliff dating back to around 1,200 years ago. A graveyard slightly above than others. Of course, yes! Restless Souls. This guy definitely had second thoughts about flying his drone over a haunted graveyard. Recorded in the darkest hours, the video begins with a calm drone glide over the eerie graves. But wait! Did you see that spooky shape popping up from a tombstone, as if hopping to the next buried body? I don't even want to think about the details. And before anyone could guess what it actually was, it just floated away like a ghost, leaving everyone with trembling legs. And even now, every time he sees a graveyard, he still wonders if that ghostly shape will appear again. Close Posse. Sure, you might have your own ways to stay safe, but have you ever come across something as perfectly protective as this? A mesmerizing video captured by a drone in Russia shows a herd of reindeer moving together in a swirling formation, just like a cyclone. Isn't it cool how those reindeer go round and round all on their own without anyone telling them what to do? But you know what? There's a super smart reason for it. It's their secret move to stay safe. They make sure the little fawns stay cozy in the middle, with the ladies keeping them company. Tell me if you have a better example of a close-knit family. Rock-carved presidents. If you are aware of the area near Mount Rushmore, you definitely will have an idea of the famous mountain up north by Custer State Park. Yes, exactly. I am talking about the one with the giant faces of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln carved into it. Well, the owner says he picked those 4 presidents to attract tourists and represent important events in U.S. history. Did you know it took over 14 years to finish carving those faces? But all that hard work pays off, doesn't it? Thermal drone. At first glance, it may seem like a close-up of an earthworm, but as the clip unfolds, the truth emerges. Hidden within dense forests, this creature is a python, a master of camouflage, and a potential danger to unsuspecting passerbys. Fortunately, engineers have devised a solution: drones equipped with the state-of-the-art thermal imaging technology. These drones can detect and track pythons even in the darkness of night. Not only can they spot the large pythons, but they can also identify native snakes as small as 18 inches. This innovation aids hunters in reducing the population of these destructive snakes. Ghostly girl. Let's spill some more beans. A bunch of boys wanted to try out their new drone in a safe spot and headed to Leopard Chase. Little did they realize what they were about to catch on camera. On their first flight over the fields, they spotted a girl dressed in white with creepy hollow black eyes, as if enjoying the field's edge. They freaked out and dashed back in a hurry. It seems this eerie girl has been haunting Leopard Chase for ages. But why is she there? And how did she get there? Nobody knows for sure. Camel without a head. You won't believe your eyes when you see this next clip. A moose pops up out of nowhere, walking around like it's in a rush, without a head. Can you even wrap your head around that? And wait, that is not it. Look at this headless camel that just struts around and even poses for the camera like it's no big deal.
It's a no-headed camel.
Some folks might think it's some supernatural stuff going on, but nah. It's just that these animals have a funny way of walking, with their heads turned backwards.
He's got an itch, I think.
See how the creature magically gets its head back? I gotta get some classes from it too. Ram versus drone. A few years ago, a man flying his quadcopter drone above the dense foliage spotted a ram enjoying its meal. Curious, he moved the drone nearer, not realizing the ram was getting upset. Suddenly, the ram hit the drone hard with its head, sending it crashing into the bushes. Fortunately, both the ram and the drone emerged unscathed from the encounter, and the device was retrieved afterward.
Seems alright.
Dino sighting. Over in Boise, Idaho, some men spotted a crazy creature flying around. Yeah, I am not lying. See, it's got a massive wingspan flapping away and a long snout-like beak. Now, a bunch of people think it's some kind of pterodactyl. You know, those winged reptiles that used to hang out with dinosaurs way back when. But despite the fact that it looks super real, some folks reckon it's just an RC plane, a toy, or maybe even a drone. What do you have to say regarding this? Wolf Showdown. Moose aren't just awesome swimmers, but also total champs at walking on water. This skill really comes in handy, especially when they're dealing with predators who can't swim. Let's look at this drone footage showing a moose chilling ankle deep in water near a lake in Ontario, Canada. But just as it's about to move on, bam! A wolf comes charging out of the bushes straight at the moose. Although the moose puts up a fight by kicking out, the wolf manages to sink its powerful jaws into the moose's leg. After a crazy minute of going around in circles in the water, the moose shakes the wolf off. Whoa! It takes the wolf a moment to realize it's lost. Embarrassing though. Ice alien. This eerie footage was captured in 2022 in a remote forest with the creature looking as if terribly frightened. While wandering through the woods, this hunter saw something mysterious hiding among the thick trees. As the camera panned up from the dense forest, a cryptid creature with wide ears and sparkling eyes emerged. Was it an alien or some other humanoid baby? Viewers said it was some undiscovered species, but we do not know anything for sure. If you have any idea about this creature, do share with us in the comments below. Flying Phantom.
Next, a close encounter between a private plane and what appears to be a jetpack. An astonished passenger capturing the sight on camera.
A few years ago, while flying above Browns Bay, a drone operator caught sight of something truly bizarre. It was a strange figure floating in the sky some 10,000 feet above ground. This weird thing started off as a shiny blob in the sky, but then, bam! After a few moments, it transformed into what looked like a person. How did this happen? Anyway, just like other puzzling stuff, this sighting got people talking. Some said it was a UFO or some shape-shifting thing. Others thought it might be an interdimensional traveler. But the drone operator just shrugged and said, looks like a person strapped to a flying contraption to me." desert dweller. Now look at this creepy drone footage from a desert in Portugal. It shows something really weird, like maybe a mutated animal or even an alien. The video was shot in August 2016 and captures this huge humanoid figure with a hunched back strolling through the empty desert. Then, poof! It disappears behind some bushes after being seen. Some folks think it's a sand zombie, while others are sure that it's an alien. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Bear chase. Next is this clip from January 2022. So there's this drone cruising through snowy pines, and it zooms in on this trail where a brown bear, just your average size, is hot on the heels of a guy. But guess what? When the camera gets closer, the bear actually stops and checks out the drone before going back to chasing the dude. There's been a lot of buzz online about whether it's fake or not. But turns out the bear, named Tom, is actually a fully trained teddy bear out for a jog with its trainer in the snowy wilds. That's some cool stuff. Serpent burrow. If you are someone who is curious to learn about snakes, then this drone capture is definitely for you. Not one or two, but a pit filled with countless rattlesnakes. At first, the snakes didn't mind the drone buzzing around, but when it got too close, they got real mad real fast. It all started with one snake striking the drone. Then it was like a domino effect. The other snakes joined in, attacking together. Before you know it, the drone was crashing right into the midst of these dangerous snakes. It was like a scene straight out of a thriller. Towering Yeti.
The person standing there.
No, it's not.
Dude, have you seen what I've seen right now?
A Canadian guy named Andrew Dawson filmed something weird. There's this massive figure standing and strolling around on top of a mountain in Alberta. And that too, without any visible support.
What is it?
It's a person, dude.
The cameraman and a couple of other guys on their usual drive spotted this strange sight poking out from the big mountain. Even though the figure looks kind of shadowy, some are speculating it could be from a tribe of giants that supposedly live in the mountains. But is that the case? I rather believe it is some family member of Yeti out there enjoying the weather. Ghostly pup. We have all heard of playing with fire, but playing with ghosts? Is it even something real? So, where we all are scared of dogs roaming out at night, this camera capture was even scarier than that. This time, a dog was found playing with another ghost dog. Yes, if you don't believe me, watch it for yourself. Now, was the creature playing with the haunted figure, or was it the one being haunted? Nobody's really sure about anything, but one thing's clear, that no one is heading out solo late at night. Leopard Chase. Who says everything is calm in the snowy mountains? What this drone captured was a thrilling moment as a snow leopard stalked an ibex from behind a rock. When the leopard saw its dinner, it jumped into action, hopping over snow heaps on the edge of the cliff. Well, looks like our feline friend pulled off quite the Houdini act. Surviving a tumble down a steep gorge? That snow leopard must have some serious 9 lives up its sleeve. I guess it was more something from Mother Nature, who decided it was not its time to go just yet. Toxic fizz. Is it that what I just saw is clouds of foam floating on the surface? The video was captured in November 2021 as hundreds of Hindu devotees gathered to bathe in the Yamani River of Kath Puja What was it after all? Environmentalists said that although it may seem like harmless fun, this white foam is contaminated with illegal dumping of industrial waste and untreated sewage water. Now, that's really unhygienic. But you will be shocked to know that despite the dangers, these devotees had no other choice but to show their thanks to the sun god for life's blessings by bathing and praying in the whipped Yamani waters. Huge dozing baby. Let's meet the child of Earth, a giant sleeping baby sculpture in the Gubagaza Gobi Desert, a new Silk Road landmark. Carved in 3D, it represents the idea of looking after Mother Nature and reminds us that we're all Earth's kids. Although it's a baby, it's bigger than all adults around us, measuring 49.2 feet long and 29.5 feet tall. Plus, let me tell you, it is not made of ordinary cement, but from red sandstones using fancy 3D tech by artist Dongshu Bing. And talk of its fame, it has become a trendy spot along the Silk Road. Dark jungle beast.
Give me the camera.
Having shoulders like a gorilla and hands like a bear, some creatures walked upright and luckily got captured by this guy who was out for hunting. About 9 miles west of Tunica, Mississippi. Now, this was no regular critter. The footage shows this huge figure roaming around for food right in front of a massive hollow tree trunk. The recorder thinks it might be a skunk ape, also known as the Florida Bigfoot. But since he couldn't get shots of its face, we're still in the dark about what exactly he saw out there in the woods.
Give me the camera.
Tree-free forest. In 2018, an eerie drone footage from the Ketchless Lake in Washington revealed a landscape filled with thousands of headless trees. The question is, what caused this devastation? I don't know for sure, but it is said that the forest had suffered from some serious drought in the summer of 2014. And as a result, all the tree trunks were left dry and exposed. Whereas some say that these trees were actually cut down 100 years ago for reasons unknown. They also said that the stumps of these trees were usually underwater. But when the water level dropped that summer, we could finally see the truth of what happened. Horseback Hurdle. Back in January 2021 near Chester Meadows, the River Dee went crazy after loads of rain. Not only this, but during all this chaos, 4 poor horses got stuck in the middle of it all. They struggled and struggled to stay out and were near to losing hope when out of the blue, a paddleboarder showed up to save the day. The drone footage caught the action as the man was asked by a local to open the gate for the trapped horses. It took him a good 40 minutes to cut the chain with bolt cutters and swing the gate open. But finally, the scared horses could escape to safety. And wouldn't you know it, one horse soaked for hours, made a mad dash for dry land, and immediately hit the grass buffet. Spine deformity. A team of oceanographers cruising above the Mediterranean Sea caught sight of something jaw-dropping. It was a massive whale with a seriously twisted spine. Initially, they thought it had been tangled up, but further investigation revealed it was dealing with a severe case of scoliosis, where its spine was bent out of shape. Biologists tried to attach a tracker, but the whale's wonky form made it tricky. After a few hours of this incredible sight, the fin whale bid farewell, swimming away into the depths of the sea. So yeah, the whale shows us how to keep going, even with a little physical challenge. Frozen animals. Are you a fan of winters? Because in January 2022, Turkey faced a big problem when temperatures dropped to minus 41 degrees Celsius. The footage shows animals like donkeys, goats, rabbits, and foxes in a small village. Some of them were frozen in funny poses, while others turned white because of the extreme cold and snow. But guess who were the real heroes? It was the rescue officers. They saved some animals and let others sleep forever. by burying them. Legion of sea turtles. It could seem like the sea is overrun by jellyfish at a quick glance, but do you know what? They're actually green sea turtles. This incredible sight was caught on camera by a team of scientists doing an aerial survey of the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. It's kind of sad, but there were a huge 64,000 turtles just hanging out there. But don't worry, marine biologists say they're just waiting to hit the beach and lay their eggs, which happens to be their biggest breeding spot. We'll keep our hopes up for the best. Passionate Orca Rescue. A group of brave folks, including volunteers and experts, stepped up to save a stranded orca on an Argentine beach. They spotted the creature thanks to drone footage. Together, they rescued 6 of the 7 stranded orcas. But sadly, one didn't make it. No one knew why the orcas got beached, so they planned to do an autopsy to find out. Despite the loss, their courage and teamwork showed how people can make a difference when animals are in trouble. Antler shedding. This drone footage of the snowy lands is no less than a hunter's dream coming true. Finding shed antlers isn't exactly rare, but seeing a big old bull doing it, that's like winning the lottery of wildlife sightings. The lucky guy actually managed to catch the whole thing on camera as the moose tossed its massive antlers into the air. After the show was over, you bet he hurried over to snag that precious set before anyone else could. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. Giant penguin congregation. A team of scientists caught this breathtaking sight during an aerial survey in Antarctica. It's a mega colony of over 1.5 million rare penguins. Guess what? These little guys were believed to be gone forever, like dinosaurs. But in 2015, when the experts were exploring the endangered Arctic, they found them like some hidden treasure. Turns out, there were hundreds of millions of these birds living in nests made in the rocky soil. And yes, the experts are thrilled and already planning to protect these special penguins for the future. Meow muddle.
Cat's not jumping.
Guess what did this sheriff see while flying his drone? A cat on a power pole in Wyoming. What was this little cat doing up there? Let me tell you, the cat was all okay, enjoying the view from above, but its family was extremely worried about its safety. So they decided to rescue him using super high-tech methods. And even during all this, our Tom didn't seem scared at all, but sat all calm. However, when the rescuer got near, the animal decided to climb down the pole all by itself, as if it was not stuck, but instead enjoying a sunbath from a height. Orca versus gray whale. Imagine 2 majestic gray whales gracefully gliding through the ocean on their annual migration journey, when out of nowhere 2 cunning orcas come for a feast. Yes, we know that orcas usually go for the young and vulnerable, but these ones decided to take on the challenge of the adults. It was like a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, or rather whale and whale. With over 16 orcas in on the action, it was quite the spectacle. The ocean turned into a battlefield as orcas attacked the gray whales. But these giants fought back fiercely, using their powerful tails. It was a real clash of titans. But in the end, the gray whales dodged the orcas, finding safety in shallow waters. Desert drift. Now, we have this amazing drone footage capturing thousands of Karari camels migrating from the Kutch district to the mangroves in India. They swim through shallow waters for up to 3 kilometers, which is a mesmerizing sight. But it's really sad to hear that this special kind of camel is struggling to find enough food. The salt company's interference is like cutting off the camel's lifeline, causing the mangroves to dry up. This makes it harder for them to reach food, putting the species at risk. Now, that's something not nice. historic clan. Ever wish to stay all away from worldly affairs? While flying drones in the Amazon, a Brazilian agency discovered a community living deep in the jungle. This tribe has never encountered modern humans before. They were just going about their business, armed with bows and arrows, to keep themselves safe from wildlife attacks. Shockingly, the footage from 2018 uncovered not just one or two, but a whopping 16 isolated tribes dwelling deep in the Amazon. And guess what? Authorities suggest that there might be an astonishing 100 more yet to be found in Brazil's dense rainforest. Cosmic crop symbols. It's not some rare animal sighting this time, but a strange crop circle in a field in northern France. It got a lot of people freaked out and curious when a farmer, just driving his tractor in July 2020, found it and thought someone was messing with his crops. As always, a few thought some extra and said that it was possible that the aliens made it to mark their territory overnight. But the truth is that these cool patterns are made by flattening a big part of the crop, kind of like making a big design in the field. So next time you see a mysterious circle in a field, don't jump to alien conclusions. It might just be Mother Nature showing off her artsy side. It's time for today's open discussion. Ever thought that even some random holes could have stories as deep as this one? In a corner of eastern Washington, there's a weird pit called Mel's Hole. It's got everyone talking because strange things happen there. Even Mel's dogs won't go near it, and when he tried to measure how deep it was, no bottom was found. And you know what else? Some people claim things tossed in make zero noise, as if the hole swallows sound. Then there's this one guy who is so darn sure that he saw his deceased dog, the same one he tossed into the hole, just trotting around like nothing happened. So it's like no one can make heads or tails of Mel's Hole, but that hasn't stopped people from being fascinated by it. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.